Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of Game Vortex. A couple of quick updates before we proceed to today's article. I have upgraded my gaming router, so I got the Asus RT AC88U, so the review is coming up soon. The unboxing video is uploading at the moment. That's one thing, and I'm doing a video about Nintendo NX and why the hell should you be exciting after all about it. And of course, the Pokemon news are coming up soon as well. Anyway, let's get back to it. Apologize if you hear the fan working, it's just because it's incredibly hot today. I had to switch on the aircon and the fan, basically, air conditioner and the fan. So today's news comes from Microsoft, and they are saying that they are shocked by the decision that Sony made is not to include the 4K Blu-ray into their system, and is saying a lot of interesting things that I actually was the one who actually saying it in the first place. Also, to all of you who are raging a fucking war in the comments section of the video where I was doing my rant when I was disappointed by PlayStation 4 Pro, just keep an open mind, guys. I know that not everybody is happy and so on and so forth, so just keep an open mind, right? It deserves, if they make a mistake, they make a mistake. If not, then more power to them. Sony in this case, what I mean. Anyway, let's proceed. So basically, an executive from an Xbox, Albert Pinello, as usually, is being quite outspoken recently because it seems like most of the balls are going into Microsoft's basket right now, because Sony seems to be starting to go steering off in the direction that I was scared they're gonna go. It starts to remind me of the Sony from the PS3 era. First of all, we have absolutely pretty much no exclusive games for the second or third year running at the end of the year, apart from Last Guardian, which I don't think will live up to expectations anyway, but I hope that I'm dead wrong. And also, we have no idea when are the rest of the... I mean, they showed a lot during the press conference. God of War, Insomniacs, Spider-Man, all those games, but I have no idea when are they coming, right? And it's been pretty dry season for the exclusives. The last one was the Ratchet & Clank, which I fucking love, and Uncharted 4, of course. Anyway, so Microsoft pretty much was surprised, but Sony didn't include the 4K disc in their system, right? But what I'm actually surprised, they're actually confirming that they will have it in a Project Scorpio, which is another bad move in terms of, it'll make me Sony look bad. That, come on, like, especially if they come out with Project Scorpio to be priced not more than $500, and it's gonna be much better next year, and it will have a 4K Blu-ray, then yes, that's gonna be not good for Sony. So he said here, like, Microsoft is supporting the format, Sony's own format, the one that they've actually fucking designed together with all the groups of other players who were in it, but they are the ones who are collecting the revenue and the licensing fees and all patent fees, because that's the reason why Microsoft didn't want to put the Blu-ray at that time when an Xbox 360 Elite or something like that, but they saw that they had no choice, so they included an Xbox One. So now an Xbox One S, they jumped the ship and gave a 4K Blu-ray, because I don't think it's going to be that much more expensive to throw it. I don't know the Sony's reasoning behind trimming down the cost. All right, yeah, because you didn't want to lose a fucking penny on your console, but at an expense. And they basically said that the Project Scorpio platform would also support Blu-ray. Now, quoting his speech here, it says, beginning of quote, "I don't want to bait on any sort of console war." Well, you already have. "I have a lot of respect for what Sony does, but analytically, I think they made some interesting decisions in their product that surprised me. The lack of 4K disc player, given Sony's media background, yes, they are a company that fucking has a Sony Pictures and Sony Music, right, all those record labels, and they've been chugging the Blu-ray down everybody's throat to make sure that it wins with the PS3, and they weren't afraid to take a hit then, which was a fucking $200 hit per console. That surprised me. So, looking at what they've done historically, I don't think many people would have predicted that. And honestly, that's the last prediction. Nobody even had any doubts, especially after the Xbox One S was announced, that the Pro will have, or Neo at that time, will have a 4K Blu-ray. It's interesting to me that Sony arrived at a very similar sort of strategy to Scorpio, We came to this bold idea independently of each other. Even though tactics are different, the idea fundamentally is very similar. Penello said that he is pleased with the Xbox One S. Yes, even though they have a fucking huge problems with the Blu-ray app, that some discs are not playing and some are lagging like hell. Also, he also added a few more things about 4K video and HDR support, saying that if you step away from the salty internet commentary, we had a group of people working on it for a couple of years, and I'm very proud of it. When we did the original Xbox 360 Slim, we added a bunch of new features. We improved the quality of the design, and I enjoy that process. With an Xbox One S, we added a ton of value into the box while keeping the price the same. We really took a leadership position in 4K and HDR, and we made some bold technology decisions with Wi-Fi in the box and going to Bluetooth controllers. That's it. Now, that also reminded me, since I bought this fucking gaming router, the PS4 doesn't support it. So only way for me to take an advantage is to throw another LAN cable. I have one going into my multimedia system. I have one coming into my smart TV. Now I have a fucking another one, and I have a problem with my PS4 when I get this stupid lag. When it says that the LAN cable is unplugged every couple of minutes or seconds, which just drops me out of every fucking game. And nobody can assist me with that. Like, I called Sony and nobody knows what the hell is wrong. Like, they can't find any fault. Somebody said it's the Cat 655E difference. I've tried all of them. Same fucking problem. Anyway, so what can I say about this? Now, to all of you people who were raging comment section there with very weird comments. Not a lot. There are some of you that defended this move, and trust me, I have been a loyal Sony fan. I had the PS1, the PS1 Slim, the PS2, PS2 Slim, PSP. Actually, I had 3 PSPs, which 2 of them I lost, 1 got stolen. I have a fucking Vita here, which I rarely play now anyway. I have a PS4, I had 2 PS3s. So my fucking TV is Sony as well. So I am not the kind of a hater guy on the Sony. I want them to succeed. I actually like how they rode the train, but they just look like they fucking rode it uphill and now it's just tipped over and going downhill. Now, some of you said, oh, don't worry, they didn't have to include the 4K because we're gonna have a 4K streaming service from Sony. We're gonna have what else are we gonna have? We have a Netflix with 4K support. There's no need for that. I say bullshit to that. Don't defend them. Just because you think that you don't need the 4K Blu-ray support doesn't mean that nobody else needs. If you're a selfish person, or maybe you have a man cave where you have your own fucking 4K TV and then you have something else in the living room, for me, I have a 1080p screen in my bedroom, but I'm also planning to get a 4K display for the living room, and at the moment there's just a normal one, a 1080p one there. Now, I have an Onkyo home theater setup, which I'm really proud of, but it only supports the normal Blu-ray. So now I'm in a dilemma, and a dilemma of, do I buy PS4 Pro, and then on top of that I need another Ultra HD 4K player, which the cheapest option, surprisingly, is an Xbox One S, which gives me even more stuff than just a 4K Blu-ray support. Or wait for the PlayStation 5, because there's no point for me buying another fucking home theater or standalone UHD. I'm gonna have a stack things like that under my table. And this is the thing that I'm talking about. And one person in the comments in particular, I don't even know who that was, but I'm not gonna open it right now. He was like, oh, the Netflix is gonna preload the content onto the PS4 for you to watch. That is pile of fucking bullshit, I can tell you that. I actually emailed them and they said, no. Who the fuck told you that? There is no such thing as Netflix is gonna automatically preload the fucking library in 4K onto your PS4 Pro. So you're saying basically that they're gonna take, like, how do they know what am I gonna watch today? Like, maybe I feel like Narcos, maybe I feel like this guy, or maybe I feel like Stranger Things today. Oh yeah, let's preload everything, so his hard drive is gonna be fucking full, and also we use all of his bandwidth as well without him knowing it. Like, this is the stupidest thing ever. Please don't say that, because that's not gonna happen. Okay? Second, people said you can stream like Sony service. Okay, I live in Asia. Sony service is not really available here, at least not in Thailand. Second, my internet connection is about 40 megs down, 5 up. that's not enough to watch a Blu-ray because the connection is not stable, not reliable. Netflix needs at least 25 megabits of stable connection that doesn't drop to stream the 4K. And that means if I'm streaming this, pretty much nobody else can do anything in my household. So it doesn't work like that. It's not ready. The people not ready. The industry is not ready. The infrastructure is not ready to accommodate 4K streaming directly. And whatever you say, Netflix's content is also compressed. Not much, they have their own standards, but it's compressed. If you would fucking stream 4K uncompressed audio and video, you would need at least 50 to 70 megabit connection. So Netflix is doing their own magic there behind, but it's still gonna be a difference if you have a high-end TV that you're gonna watch it on a proper 200 gigabyte fucking Blu-ray in 4K versus the stuff that you're actually watching on Netflix. So there we go. I mean, and I'm not even talking about the companies that cap the bandwidth or they actually start throttling your internet. I used to work for a Virgin Media in the UK, and even though they don't actually openly specify it, the more you download, the more they'll cut your speed down. And it's gonna work in a segment of like for 4 hours you get that much. If you carry on consuming as much data or less, a little bit or more, then there's gonna be another slot for another throttling later on. So it's all bullshit and all shady practices. It's not gonna work like that. And as I said, if I'm buying the TV for, let's say, 4K TV for my living room, I have a wife, kids who also like to watch TV shows, movies and documentaries. So what am I gonna tell them? Like, oh sorry, this console doesn't have a 4K and you don't need it. Like, just upscale just upscale. What's the point of buying the 4K Blu-rays then? I want them to enjoy in the full glory, as they say, right? And I want them to experience the console in 4K without any issues. But I can't do that because PS4 Pro is not going to play that. And Andrew House tried to bail out of there saying, well, maybe if we'll ever see a need for that, we will patch it in. As far as I remember, during the CES, was it CES? Yeah, Consumer Electronics Show, when the format was officially finalized and announced, the same guys came out and said that the old drive is not compatible because the laser is different. So how the fuck do you patch that in? I mean, if you really had a 4K Blu-ray in there, and I mean, this is nonsense. This is lying straight into the face. You can't just patch in a support. Why would you disable it then in the first place if you're already putting it in the console? Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You fucking contradict yourself, Andrew House. I'm sorry for that. I'm calling you out on this. So, I mean, I'm waiting for Scorpio to see what it's gonna be. It doesn't mean that I'll jump the ship straight away. I'll wait and see, of course. There's no, but Sony, I mean, they have to shove the, I don't know, like we have a PSVR coming out in a couple of weeks. We have this thing coming out soon. So there's a lot of stuff about that they are trying to sell people right now. And I mean, of course, a lot of people go out and look at me on the forum. I bought this LG TV for $600 UHD and it has got a fucking HDR, which they have no idea that it's a limited HDR, not full HDR. And also, don't think that you're gonna get like some people who went to Sony's presser that time when they unveiled it. They said, oh my god, it looks amazeballs. You watched it on $10,000 fucking dollar set, the most high-end set that Sony makes. So don't think that a $600 TV is gonna give you exactly the same picture quality. So yeah, this was my rant, started from news and went straight into an angry rant again. Anyway, I hope that you got some kind of interesting information. Please subscribe to this channel, help me grow. I really appreciate every single comment that you leave, even if you're being a dick or you're not. Constructive criticism, anything like that. I enjoy reading your comments. I often reply to the people as well because I like to see their point of view. So there we go. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Game Vortex, and I'll see you guys on the next episode.